That actually reminds me of this beautiful story. Oh, goodness. It's in Genesis. It's Abraham. Abraham is doubting, right? Like, God, how do I know you're going to do it? And then God makes a promise with Abraham. Abraham, he says to Abraham, look, you follow me. I'm going to give you as many kids as there are sands on the shore and as many kids as there are stars in the sky. He's like, wow, that's amazing. And then Abraham says, okay, fine, but how do I know that I won't fail you? How, if this is a deal, we both have to do our parts. What happens if I don't do my part? And then God says, okay, grab these animals, tear them in half or cut them in half or whatever, and then offer up sacrifices, this is that. And then he falls into a deep sleep and he sees a rod of lightning come down and it hits, but it doesn't just hit and goes away. It hits and it like goes through the land and it goes through these parts that are these animal parts that are split in half. And what they used to do back in the day is they would enact their deals and their promises. Here you would sign a contract or whatever, and you're liable by this, but they would act it out. And so basically what they were saying is, what is happening to these animals, so will happen to me if I don't keep up my end of the deal, right? But why did this rod of lightning, God, why would he go? It's such a phenomenal thing. We were expecting Abraham to go through, not only because he's the lesser vassal, right? He's the person of less power here. And so he needs to make the deal. Not only that, but Abraham is the one wondering about himself. He was saying, what if I don't keep my end of the bargain? And so if you logically think about this, what happens if I don't keep my end of the bargain? Abraham is supposed to go through that, right? And say, okay, well, if I don't keep up my end of the bargain, you can tear me in half like these animals here. But God did. God, it says like a rod of fire. A rod of fire comes down and walks through. And you think, what does that mean? If we don't keep our end of the bargain, God is going to split himself in half. How is this possible? How is he going to break his flesh? How is he going to? And then you think, in the fulfillment of that promise 2,000 years later or more, whatever time is, Jesus, God in the flesh, as his body breaks and is torn, we see the faithfulness of God and the mercy of God. We just need to understand this about disobedience. It's been paid for. Oh my gosh, it's been paid for. And God promised that all those years beforehand, thousands of years before the incarnation of God came to be in our concept of time, in this universe, in this world, before he entered this universe, he was constrained by physics. He promised. Oh, goodness, that's so powerful.